Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Rajesh Gautam from Dr. Harishingaur Vishwavidyalaya Sagar, Madhya Pradesh, and today I will tell you about a module entitled Tribal Situation in India from the paper Indian Anthropology. So let's first we come to know what we are going to discuss in this module. To study tribal characteristics and relate them with their current situation in India would be the first aspect of this module. Then to study the tribal demography of India. Next we will try to understand the various development indicators of tribes and know the current status of tribes of India. Then we will also get an overview of the regions responsible for the tribal situation in India and its future prospect. So let's start. As you know, the scheduled tribe as defined by the article 356 are those communities which are scheduled in accordance with article 342 of the constitution, which says that only those communities who have been declared as such by the President of India through an initial public notification or through subsequent amendments of the Act of Parliament will be considered as scheduled tribe. The tribes of India constitutes around 8.6% of the total Indian population and covers around 15% of the total geographical area of Indian subcontinent. Some of the anthropologically recognized characteristics of tribes include territorial affiliation, segmental solidarity, economic interdependence, no surplus generation of production, importance of family and kinship relation, use of simple technology, resilience to change. Endogamy is also one of the major characteristics of tribes of India. No specialization of function, common language and dialect, recognition of social distance with other tribes and castes, practice traditional beliefs, customs and cults. Though show many common characteristics from the basis of tribal identification, there are also significant deviation from the normal trends which contribute to the total tribal diversity of India. These variations are often observed in different pockets of states and union territories of the country where diverse climatic conditions, topography, social intermixing and resource gives rise to myriad ethnical features, languages, culture, subsistence, economies, acculturation level and population size. So, the presence of such a huge variation direct us to believe how rich is the Indian subcontinent, which despite of harsh living condition made the life of these vulnerable group possible through time. In continuation to understanding tribes and their characteristics, let's we see this diagram and try to understand the characteristics of tribe. There is no universally applicable definition as the tribes differ in their important distinguished characteristics. So, it is in this diagram try to explain tribal characteristics. See, there is territorial affiliation, segmental solidarity, recognition of social distance from other tribes, economic interdependence, use of simple technology, no surplus generation. So, in this way, this tribal characteristics it try to explain through this diagram. Now, let me try to understand tribal variation. The diverse climatic condition, topography, social intermixing, isolation and resources has given rise to myriad ethnical features, languages, culture, subsistence economies, acculturation levels and population size among the tribes of India. Through this diagram, it can be further illustrated as topography, climatic condition, social intermixing and isolation and myriad ethnical features, languages, culture, subsistence, economies, acculturation level and population size. Now, let me try to understand tribal differences in terms of region, economy and culture. In India, the tribals are widely distributed in North India, Northeast India, Central India, Southern India and Andaman and Nicobar Island. And on the basis of economy also, they are widely distributed or there is difference on the basis of their economy. Some tribes are hunting gathering, others are practicing pastoralism, then some tribes are practicing horticulture, shifting cultivation and agriculture, some tribes are artisans and the majority of Central Indian tribes are practicing agriculture. Then on the basis of culture also there is difference among tribals on the basis of their language, tradition and beliefs, medicinal practices and custom and traditions. There are many problems of the tribals of India and the tribal problems can be broadly categorized into land alienation, indebtedness, identity crisis, poor literacy and education, unemployment, displacement in rehabilitation, lack of health facilities, poor nutrition and unsatisfactory hygienic condition. So, in this context, now let me know the demographic profile of Indian tribes to understand the tribal situation in the country. In the period of 2001 to 2011, the tribal population grew at a rate of 23.66% and they constitute 8.6% of total population of the country. No consensus has been reached in stating the exact number of tribal communities in India, but some estimates are the Anthropological Survey of India identified 461 tribal communities in India during its Pupil of India project. According to Census of India 2011, the number of scheduled tribe groups in India is 705. The tribal population of India is found distributed in North and Northeast India, Central India, Southern India and Andaman and Nicobar Islands. The census 2011 illustrates that the highest distribution of ST population or scheduled tribe population is found in the state of Madhya Pradesh. In the rural areas, the proportion of scheduled tribe population is 11.3%, and in urban areas it is only 2.8%. The highest number of ST communities, 62, have been identified in Odisha. The most diverse zone of tribes in India is Northeast, which contains over 200 tribes and sub-tribes differing in their language, culture and political makeup. In continuation to understanding tribal demography, now let me come to know that Lakshadweep, among all union territories and states, have highest proportion of scheduled tribe. There are 94.8% scheduled tribes in Lakshadweep, whereas in Uttar Pradesh having lowest proportion of tribes, that is 0.56%. According to the census 2001, the total population of Bhil tribe were 1 crore 26 lakh 89,952, having the largest population, followed by Gaur, Santhal and Meena. These populations also differ in their size. Some tribals group like Gaur, Bhil, Santhal, Orao, Meena, Munda, etc. have a population varying between 1 million to 7 million people, whereas the others like Andamanis, Sentinels, Virgia, Ashur, Birhor, etc. have a population of less than 200 individuals. In the continuation of understanding tribal demography of India, let me come to know the 15 most populous tribes of India, which are given in this table. There is name of tribe, their population and states in which they are residing. At the top there is Bhil with 1 crore 26 lakh 89,952 population. They are distributed in Tripura, Andhra Pradesh, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, Andhra Pradesh, Gujarat, Maharashtra and Karnataka. Gaur stands their second position with a population strength of 1 crore 8 lakh 59,422, and they are distributed in Bihar, West Bengal, Jharkhand, Odisha, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh and Karnataka. Santhal stands third position and they are distributed in Bihar, Tripura, West Bengal, Odisha and Jharkhand. Meena is in fourth position and they are distributed in Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh. Nayaka are in fifth position and they are distributed in Karnataka, Rajasthan, Gujarat, Daman and Diu, Dadar and Nagar Haveli, Maharashtra and Goa. Orao, the next is Orao and they are distributed in Bihar, West Bengal, Jharkhand, Odisha, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra. Shogali is the next tribe in this list and they are from Andhra Pradesh. Munda having population of 19 lakh 18,218 and they are distributed in Bihar, West Bengal, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Tripura and Odisha. Naga are from Nagaland, Khons are distributed in Bihar, West Bengal and Jharkhand, Bodo tribe is from Assam, Koli Mahadev from Maharashtra, Khasi from Mizoram, Meghalaya and Assam, and Kol with a population size of 9,91,400, and they are distributed in Odisha, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra. And at the end of this list there is Barli tribe, and they are distributed in Gujarat, Daman and Diu, Dadar and Nagar Haveli, Maharashtra, Karnataka and Goa. The tribes of India are also can be understood on the basis of the language they speak. Among the four major language groups of India, the Bhil and Halbi tribe speak the languages belonging to the Indo-European family. Gond, Khon, Koya, Orao and Toda speaks languages of Dravidian family. The Austro-Asiatic languages are spoken by the tribes like Santhal, Munda and Ho, and the languages of Tibeto-Burman family are spoken by the Himalayan and northeastern tribe. After language, the tribals are also there is variation among the tribes on the basis of their economy. For example, the Negreto of Andaman, Negreto tribe of Andaman, they are Onge, Great Andamanis and Jarva, who are nomadic and practicing hunting gathering type of economy, whereas the Toda of South India, they are pastoral. The Nicobaris practice horticulture, and most of the tribes of Assam practice shifting cultivation, whereas the tribes of central India are practicing settled cultivation. Here you can visualize a bar diagram in which the total rural and urban population are displayed on the basis of bar diagrams for the census 1961, 1971, 1981, 1991, 2001 and 2011. The population of scheduled tribe are presented at y-axis, and it can be understood by the graph that there is continuous population growth among the tribes, and the rural urban difference can also be understood by the graph. Now let us come to see the commissions constituted for survey the tribal problem in different time, in different years. Different commissions were constituted by the government, which are given in this slide. You can see there is Elvin committee. It was constituted in 1947 to monitor the functioning of multipurpose development block. Then Devar commission was constituted in 1960 to address the important tribal issues like land alienation. Then another local committee was constituted in 1965 to investigate the matters related to scheduling of groups as STs. Then Shiluo Committee was constituted in 1966, addressing the issue of tribal development and welfare. Bhuria Committee was constituted in 1991, and in 2002 and 4 working on the constitutional provisions and welfare of the tribes. So in this way, at different time, in different years, different committees were constituted to evaluate and to know the tribal situation of the country. To know the tribal situation of the country, we should have some indicators. To understand the tribal scenario in better way, we can analyze some indicators, and these indicators are being displayed in this slide. You can see, we will see the tribal situation on the basis of education, health, poverty, illiteracy, sex and child ratio, and livelihood and employment status. In this context, let me first understood livelihood and employment status of the tribes. According to People of India, report by Anthropological Survey of India, a decline in practice of hunting and gathering, pastoralism, shifting cultivation, and traditional crafts has been observed. This is accompanied by an increase in the practice of horticulture, terrace cultivation, shuttled cultivation, animal husbandry, sericulture, and beekeeping. So, with increasing support from the government side and rapid industrialization, the business in the tribal areas has gone up by 77%, trade and has improved by 42%, and industry by 100%. This on one hand has improved the employment opportunities available to the STs, but on the other hand it has led to their displacement from their native lands. Further, in this context, it should be noted that the worker population ratio, defined as the number of persons employed per 1000 persons. So, the WPR or working population ratio among the rural scheduled tribe male has declined in 2009-10 in comparison to 1993-94, but the important change is that the rural scheduled tribe males have higher level of working population ratio in comparison to all the social groups. Similar trend can be observed with the rural scheduled tribe females. This table further illustrate the situation. Now let me come to know the sex ratio and child sex ratio among the tribals. The highest sex ratio with reference to the scheduled tribe was found in states including Goa, that is 1046 females per 1000 of male, followed by Kerala 1035 females, Arunachal Pradesh 1032, Odisha 1029, Chhattisgarh 1020, etc., whereas it was lowest in Jammu and Kashmir, that is 924 females per 1000 male population. In context to understand the tribal situation of India, now let we come to know the scenario of education among tribals. Gross enrollment ratio for elementary class stage, that is class 1 to 8th of education, is defined as the percentage of enrollment in elementary stage to the estimated child population in the age group 6 to below 14 years. It can be seen that for both the scheduled tribe and all categories in comparison to the period 2010 to 11, the general enrollment ratio has marginally decreased in the period 2011 to 2012. Further, this can be understood by this table where the gross enrollment ratio for elementary stage is given for year 2001, 2002, 3 up to 2011 and 12 for boys, girls and total of scheduled tribe category and for all category. So that is 102 for boys in 2000 and 2001 and 73 for girls among scheduled tribe category and 88 for total, whereas in all category that was 90.3 for boys, 72.4 for girls and 81.6 for total. So in this way there is comparative data to understand the gross enrollment ratio among scheduled tribe and all category, and the data was taken from Statistics of School Education, Ministry of Human Resource and Development, year 2011 and 12. Now let me come to know the literacy rate among the tribals. As per census 2001, the literacy rate among the scheduled tribe was 47.1% and it increased to 59% by 2011. Similarly, the literacy rate among the tribal male and female has improved comparing the figure of census of 2001 and 2011, though the improvement in the rate of females is lower than that of males. Between the period 2001 to 2011, the literacy rate among the scheduled tribes improved by 11.9%, whereas for the general population this change was 8.16%. This can further be understood by this table in which the literacy rate for tribes and all social group is given for the census of 1961, 1971, 1981, 1991, 2001 and 2011. There is gradual increment can be witnessed by this table which was taken from Office of the Registrar General of India. Further, to understand the scenario of literacy among the tribals, there is literacy rate for different age categories from census of India 2011. You can see in this table the literacy rate for total population and for scheduled tribe. Total includes persons, males and females and similar is for scheduled tribe person, male and female. For all ages, for persons, the literacy rate is 73. For males, it is 80.9. For females, it is 64.6. For scheduled tribe persons, it is 59%. For males, 68.5% and for females, 49.4%. For age category 10 to 14 years, the literacy rate is 91.1%. For persons of total population, whereas for males of total population it is 92.2%, for females of total population it is 90%, whereas for scheduled tribe it is 86.4% for persons and 88.3% for males and 84.4% for females. There is further for age category 15 to 19 years, 20 to 24 years, for adolescent that is 10 to 19 years, youth 15 to 24 years, and this table clearly indicates the difference in literacy rate between male and females and scheduled tribe and total population of the country for these age groups. Now let you come to know the poverty rate according to the estimation of the Planning Commission. The scheduled tribe population living below the poverty line in 2011 and 12 was 45.3% in the rural areas and 24.1% in the urban areas. In comparison to that, in 2009 and 10, which was 47.4% in the rural areas and 30.4% in urban areas. To illustrate the situation, there is a table which is showing state-wise poverty rate for year 2009-10, 11-12 for rural and urban areas for 18 states of the country. So my dear students, to understand tribal situation in better way, we also have to understand their health status, and to measure their health status we have certain indicators. First we will discuss about infant mortality rate followed by child mortality rate. According to Census of India 2001, the infant mortality rate for scheduled tribe has estimated as 88 per 1000 of live births against the all India estimates of around 68 per 1000 live births. So it can be seen that the IMR or infant mortality rate among the scheduled tribe population of India was found 30% more than the rest of Indian population. The under 5 mortality rate among the scheduled tribe was found to be 129 as against the all India estimate of 96. According to National Family Health Survey third phase, which was conducted in 2005 and 2006, the total fertility rate among the scheduled tribe was around 3.1 against the estimate of 2.4 for the rest of the population of country. Also, it was observed that youth of scheduled tribe and scheduled caste category are more likely to be stunted, wasted and underweight than the children of other categories. In this way, we can say that the health scenario of tribals in the country is not good. Major health problems which are found to be prevalent among the scheduled tribes can be categorized into malnutrition, maternal child health problems, communicable diseases, accident and injuries, high alcohol and tobacco consumption, hereditary diseases, mental health problems, special kind of problems, and non-communicable problems. In special research conducted by National Nutrition Monitoring Bureau, it was found that the intake of various food were less than the recommended daily allowances among the tribals. There is comparative presentation of infant mortality rate and under 5 mortality rate in the states where tribals resides. It is clear from table that there is comparison of scheduled tribe and general population. The percentage difference between both of them is very high, especially in Andhra Pradesh. It is 25.7%, in Gujarat 23.2%, and Manipur 21.5%. Whereas for states like Assam, Jammu and Kashmir, Karnataka and Sikkim, the IMR for ST population is lower than general population. In Andhra Pradesh, you can see the infant mortality rate for all population is 68.4, whereas it is 94.1 for scheduled tribe. In Arunachal Pradesh, it is 60.7%, whereas for scheduled tribe it is 67.6%. For Assam, it is 66% for all population, whereas 59% for scheduled tribe. The similar is the scenario with under 5 mortality. In Andhra Pradesh, 78.7 under 5 mortality was recorded for all population, whereas for scheduled tribe it is 112. In Arunachal Pradesh, it is 109 for scheduled tribe and 87.7 for all category of population. In this way, difference of infant mortality and under 5 mortality rate is compared in this table, and this data was taken from NFHS 3, 2005 and 6. Dear students, now let us summarize what we have learnt in this module entitled Tribal Situation in India. Under this module, we learnt definition of tribes, their characteristics. As we know, they are forest dwelling, poverty, illiteracy, primitive technology, their variation, custom, hunting and gathering, pastoralism, agriculture and so on. A nation cannot be developed without the development of all of its sections and its nationals. Tribes are indigenous people. Their welfare and development should be given priority and emphasis. There is great need to eradicate poverty and illiteracy prevalent among them. After independence, many efforts were made for the tribal development. There is separate ministry in central and state governments committed to tribal development and welfare. There are separate tribal development agencies, namely Varia Development Agency, Bega Development Agency and so on, to improve education level of tribes. There are a scheme of scholarship, fellowship, post-matric scholarship, UGC's Rajiv Gandhi National Fellowship and postdoctoral fellowship, etc. There are separate tribal university at Amarkantak, Madhya Pradesh. There are multiple factors behind poor development of tribes of the region. The responsibility of development of region and people is primarily lies on the shoulder of the government. The Department of Tribal Welfare is doing with its limited resources without any motivation, almost no commitment, with complete lack of devotion and missionary zeal of staff. Even the budget provided to them for development activities are not utilized or misutilized. The widespread corruption is another major reason of poor development of tribes. Subsidies provided to tribes hardly reach to them. Most of its proportion are being shared and distributed among officers and staff. For more than 15.3 million tribal population of the state of Madhya Pradesh, there is only one tribal research center located in capital town Bhopal. At the one hand, the research center is not equipped properly with manpower, whereas on the other hand, there is no sub center or field station of this tribal research center, and the similar scenario in other states also. There should be at least one well equipped field station for each of the tribe or for the district with sufficient staff and proper coordination among research and developmental agencies. Similarly, Anthropological Survey of India should be spread in the state. Right now, there is only one field station at Sagar without any structure and function. This is the case of Madhya Pradesh, and similar is with other states also. If it is equipped properly and directed to work among tribals with more field stations, the scenario may change. But there are negligence at many levels, extreme ignorance and bureaucratic anarchy behind the scenario. There is great need to improve tribal villages with all kind of civil amenities like safe drinking water, roads, bus services, better educational institutions, health centers, vocational training centers. The tribals have variety of behavioral problems like alcoholism and tobaccoism should be eradicated among them. Especially focused programs are needed for social counseling. They are easy prey of usury. The money lenders exploit them at any extent. Tribal versus non-tribal conflict is also a problem. The non-tribals are dominating and snatching many benefits reserved for tribals. Even after 67 years of independence and reservation for tribals, there is not a single tribal faculty in most of the universities. IITs, IIMs should also think how many scheduled tribe students they have. Tribal insurgency is a repercussion of such conflict and exploitation. To improve the health of tribals, there are special establishment of regional medical research centers for tribals in different corners of the country. There are tribal research departments in states to improve their socioeconomic status. There is scheduled tribe commission to look into matters of tribal atrocities. Beside government agencies, NGOs and missionaries are also committed to work for tribals. Because of such efforts, lot of changes can be witnessed in tribes and tribal areas. Due to such efforts, the tribal people are benefited a lot. Few of them have achieved very prestigious status like chief ministers, speakers of Lok Sabha. Some of them are IAS, IPS, IFS, PCS. Many of them are policemen, teachers and forest officials. But still, the overall condition and tribal situation are very pathetic because of lack of committed and devoted staff, tribal, non-tribal conflict, widespread corruption, money laundering. Still, tribals are lagging behind in education, economy, health status and political empowerment. Their participation in judiciary and media of mass communication is negligible. After reservation policy of government, there is lack of implementation and posts are lying vacant in different departments. There is prejudices at level of recruitment and such posts are kept vacant intensely by NFS and later on convert them into general category. They are still miles away from urbanization and modern way of life. Their majority is still forest dwellers. Their abode is being eroded by illicit felling. They are being displaced by name of nationalization of forest, formation of wildlife sanctuaries, tiger and biosphere reserves, as well as for sake of other developmental activities like special economic zone and construction of dams. Most of tribes are either hunter-gatherer or they partially practice it. Beyond the numerical description of qualitative achievement of tribal education, literacy and other things, there are wide discrimination in content and quality of education being provided to different sections of society. There is apparent disparity between elite and deprived, urban and rural, tribal and non-tribes. No doubt the children of elite are being provided better education in contents as well as quality. There is apparent gap between syllabus of Central Board of Education and State Board of Secondary Education. The children of elite and urban are being taught CBSE syllabus in many parts of the country. Their medium is English and the teachers are well trained and paid, whereas the tribals of the rural children, tribals and rural children are taught state board syllabus in Hindi medium. The teachers can't be designated as well trained and paid teachers. The teachers hired for government schools to teach the rural, tribal and urban slum dwellers are being paid less than a daily wage earner. How it can be expected that so less paid can teach in proper way, or why a well qualified person will opt teaching as profession in such schools? There is hostel facility for tribal children, but the condition of most of such hostels are worst in every aspect. At least two residents sleep together in a single bed. In most of the hostels, the toilets are in worst condition and the resident defecate outside. Residents take bath in nearby water body. The meals provided to them are also not satisfactory or balanced. It is just to satisfy their hunger anyhow. In most of the hostels, the staple food is rice and pulse is being provided in both the meals round the year. Green vegetables and sweets are very occasional. So, in this way we can see that poverty, illiteracy are complementary of each other and there is great need to upgrade the educational system of the state at least up to the level of central school. Education should be made compulsory and free of cost at least up to the age of 18 years instead of 14 years of age. Like central government employees, education allowances can be provided to such groups to ensure their educational upliftment. Incentives like scholarship, hostels, book, dresses, midday meals should be made more attractive and linked with the inflation rates. To improve the quality of education, uniform syllabus should be adopted at the school level up to 12th standard. For qualified teachers, recruitment process and salaries should be made more attractive and updated. Most of the tribal areas are secluded and isolated. The road and communication facility is very poor. My dear student, every tribal village should be connected with good road and cellular phone facilities. The benefit of different welfare and development program are not reaching to the last end of its clientele. We also come to know by this module that the widespread corruption from top to bottom is also one of the reasons for pathetic condition of these tribes. Finally, the eradication of poverty, illiteracy and corruption may change the tribal scenario. Finally, there is great need to rethink about development policy of tribes as well as other deprived groups in context of their culture, belief, custom and language. Without understanding the culture and its behavior of any group, the development is not possible. Thank you.